Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Okay. All of you, please switch on your videos. Adidev, Rifa, Anne Mary, Fia, Haynes, Steve, Nirupama, Surya Krishnadas, all of you, please switch on your videos. Okay. Please switch on your videos. Then only I am saying, students. In the last class, we were discussing about the factors affecting on the value of resistance, but I am not at all satisfied with the response that you are made in the last class. So I think we can continue with the same topic, factors affecting on the value of resistance. So in order to explain the factors affecting the value of resistance, here we are going to do an activity. Okay, for that we are need to consider a circuit with a ammeter, cell and a key. Okay, so let us do the activity first. From that activity we can find what are the factors affecting the value of resistance. So let us see. So for that, here we want some components. What are the apparatus that we are consider here? Ammeter, and we need one more thing. What is that? What happened to 10A students? You can unmute and say.
Yes,
Before you are very cooperate with me. Now what happened? Is it is because of this climate and all? Okay. So here we need an ammeter and a cell. Then one more thing that we need. What is that? Key. Here we have a key. This is the representation of the key in a circuit. This is key. This is ammeter. And what is the use of ammeter, Haynes Steve? For what we are using an ammeter in an electric circuit?
To measure the current.
Very good. To measure the current. Now, the positive terminal of the cell is represented by this red side. Okay, this red terminal is represent the positive terminal. The positive terminal of the battery or the electric cell is connected to positive side of the ammeter. And the negative terminal is connected to key. And here we leave some space between them. Okay, here we leave a space between them. And the other terminal is connected to the negative terminal of the cell. So this is the experimental setup that we are consider here in order to explain the factors affecting the value of resistance. This is our cell, electric cell. Here ammeter to measure the value of current, and here we have key or switch in order to open and close the circuit. And here we leave some space between this electric circuit. We can mark the spaces X and Y. And here in this space we need to connect some components. And here we are going to connect some materials in that space X and Y. And here we want to measure the corresponding value of current with the help of ammeter. Can you recall what are the materials that we are used to connect there in that gap between X and Y? Anyone? We are used to connect a nichrome wire. Okay, first we are used to connect a nichrome wire. Nichrome wire with the length 5 centimeter. Then we connect again the nichrome wire. What about the dimension?
1 centimeter.
Yes, very good. If you are responding like this, I am happy. Okay, nichrome wire with a length 10 centimeter. The third case, what is the speciality? Nichrome wire with a large area of cross section. Okay, large area or a thick nichrome wire. Thick nichrome wire. What about the last material that we are used to connect here? It is not nichrome. We are used to connect another material. What is that? Anyone recall? It is a copper wire. Okay, copper. Copper wire of the same length. Copper wire with 5 centimeter length. Okay, so here we are going to connect all these materials one by one into the gap between X and Y. So here first we are going to connect the nichrome wire with the 5 centimeter length in the gap between X and Y. Okay, so we can give another color for this nichrome wire. Don't know whether it is works. Okay. Nichrome wire with a 5 centimeter length. This is our nichrome wire with the 5 centimeter length. Okay. So when we connect this nichrome wire in the gap between X and Y, now the circuit is closed and the current is started to flow through the circuit. Okay. And now we want to measure the value of current that is flowing through the circuit with the help of which device? With the help of ammeter. So here when we connect this nichrome wire, the circuit is closed and here we want to measure the value of the current with the help of ammeter. Now suppose the value of ammeter or the value of the current in the ammeter is about here. What is the value of the current in a meter now? You can read the, yes, you can take the readings on the upper scale. This is measuring the ampere. So what about the reading of ammeter? It is 1 ampere. Okay, it is 1 ampere. So now we can enter the value here. When we connect the nichrome wire with the length 5 centimeter, we get the current 1 ampere in the ammeter. Okay. Now we are going to replace this nichrome wire. We are going to replace this nichrome wire with another wire. What is next component that we are used to connect here? Here we have X, Y. The gap between the X and Y is connected with nichrome wire with the, what is the next material? Nichrome wire with the, yes, nichrome wire with the length 10 centimeter. That is what is we are going to connect now. So we are used to connect, we are double the length of nichrome wire. That is what is you can see in your textbook. Did you see a shape like this? This is the nichrome wire with the 10 centimeter length. Okay, this is the nichrome wire with the 10 centimeter length. Again we repeat the same procedure. Whenever we connect this nichrome wire with the 10 centimeter length, the current is started to flow through the circuit. Now the current is started to flow through the circuit and we measure the value of the current using ammeter. Now during this time the ammeter is pointed towards here. What is the value of current now?
0.5.
It is 0.5 ampere. Very good. So when a nichrome wire with a length 10 centimeter is connected, the corresponding current in the ammeter is 0.5 ampere. Now can you say what happens to the value of current? Is it is increase or decrease?
Decrease.
It is increase or decrease? Yes, I can hear. That's why I'm asking again and again. It is decreases. Okay. So now we are moving to the third case. Now we are going to connect nichrome wire with the same length 5 centimeter, but it has a large area of cross section. That is, here we are move this nichrome wire with the 10 centimeter length. It is replaced by the nichrome wire with a larger area of cross section. A large area of cross section. Same length 5 centimeter, but here the area is increased. Okay, the area of the nichrome wire is increased. Nichrome wire with a large area. Large area. Again we repeat the same procedure. Okay, whenever we connect this nichrome wire with a large area of cross section, the current is started to flow through the circuit, and here we are going to measure the value of the current with the help of ammeter, and during this time the ammeter reading shows here. What is the value of current now? Yes, very good. It is 2 ampere. Now the value of the current is 2 ampere. Okay. Now we are going to connect the last material. What is the last material here?
Copper wire.
Copper wire. So here we are going to replace the nichrome wire by a copper. We are replacing this nichrome wire with a copper wire. So that is between the gap of this X and Y. Here we are connecting entirely different material, that is copper. Now we are connecting copper wire and we repeat the same procedure. Okay. So now we repeat the same procedure. When we connect this copper between the gaps X and Y, the current is started to flow through the circuit, and during this time the ammeter is pointed towards here. What is the reading of current? It is 3 ampere. So when we connect copper wire in the gap between X and Y, we get another value of the current, that is 3 ampere. Okay. So here we are used to connect 4 different materials. The first one is nichrome wire with a length 5 centimeter. Then in the second case we increase the length of the nichrome wire. We are double the length of the nichrome wire, that is we take a 10 centimeter nichrome wire. The third case again we are using the nichrome wire with a 5 centimeter length, but its area is increased. We are using a thicker nichrome wire. And in the last case we are using a copper wire with the same length 5 centimeter. So students, from this table can you say what about the value of current? Does they remains the same or different?
Different.
Here current is different. Current is varies depending upon the different dimensions of the current. Right? So first of all we can observe the value of the current for the first 2 cases. Only for the first 2 cases. That is for nichrome wire with a 5 centimeter length and nichrome wire with a 10 centimeter with the length. In which case the value of the current is more? In which case the value of the current is more?
Copper wire.
Okay. No. We are only compare the value of the current for the first 2 cases. That is for nichrome wire with a length 5 centimeter and nichrome wire with a length 10 centimeter. Okay. So here only Savio is responding well. What about others? Unmute and say. Here nichrome wire with a length 5 centimeter and nichrome wire with a length 10 centimeter. We are comparing the value of the current for these 2 cases. In which case the value of the current is more?
Nichrome wire 5 centimeter.
It is for nichrome wire with a length of 5 centimeter, right? So whenever the nichrome wire with a length of 5 centimeter is connected, we get a value of current 1 ampere. Students, we know according to Ohm's law. According to Ohm's law, what is V? According to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. V is equal to IR. That is, the potential difference is directly proportional to the current flowing through the conductor, and it is also directly proportional to resistance. So from this equation, can you find out what is resistance? Form an equation for resistance. R.
V by I.
Very good. R is equal to V by I. Okay. What is this equation implies? What do you mean by this equation? R is directly proportional to V, but it is inversely proportional to I. Okay. So this is the meaning of this equation. R is equal to V by I. This equation implies the resistance R is directly proportional to the potential difference V, but it is inversely proportional to current. So from this equation we can conclude that the resistance, this is from Ohm's law, we can say that resistance is inversely proportional to I. What do you mean by inversely proportional? What do you mean by inversely proportional? If one quantity increases, what happens to the other quantity? Is it increase or decrease?
Decreases.
Okay, good. It is decreases because they are inversely proportional. Inversely proportional means if one quantity increases, other quantity decreases. That is, if here resistance increase, what happens to the value of current?
It will decrease.
It will decrease. It will decrease. So now we can check the previous case. So here, whenever the length increases, what happens to the value of current?
Decreases.
Whenever the length increases, current decreases. Okay, right. So here we can write that conclusion from this observation. Length increases, here we are comparing the length. We are connecting the nichrome wire with a 5 centimeter length and a nichrome wire with a 10 centimeter length. So here whenever the length increases, we can see that the value of the current decreases. It is decreased to 0.5 ampere. When we connect a nichrome wire with the length is only equal to 5 centimeter, during that time the current is 1 ampere. But when we are increasing the length to 10 centimeter, the value of the current is decreases to 0.5 ampere. So here we can write the conclusion from this observation. Length increases, what happens to current? Current decreases. Good. So can you guess what happens to our resistance? Here current decreases. When current decreases, what happens to resistance?
Increases.
Resistance increases because resistance is inversely proportional to current. That is, if current increases, resistance decreases, or vice versa. If current decreases, resistance increases. So here, whenever the length of the wire increases, the current decreases, which also implies the resistance increases. The resistance increases. This is the first observation that we made from this activity. Whenever the length increases, current decreases. According to Ohm's law, current is inversely proportional to resistance. So here, since current decreases, we can say the resistance increases. So this is the first observation. Now we can compare the next values. Now we can compare the third material. We are connecting the third material, that is a thicker copper wire. What change that you can observe in the value of current? If you are connecting a thicker copper wire, what change that you observe in the value of current? Is it increase or decrease?
Increase.
It is increases compared to the other values. When we connect a nichrome wire with a large area of cross section, the value of the current is increases to 2 ampere. Okay, so that is the second observation that we made from this activity. That is, area increases. Area of cross section of the wire increases. Area of cross section increases, area of cross section increases. What happens to the value of current? Area of, what happened to the value of current? Current
increase.
Current increases. Here you can compare with the stable. When we are increasing the, or when we are connecting the nichrome wire with a large area of cross section, the value of the current is increases. It is increases to 2 ampere. It increases to 2 ampere. When we are compared with that of the first two cases, it is increases to 2 ampere. So that is the second observation. That is, if the area of cross section of the wire increases, current increases. Current increases. Then can you guess what happens to our resistance in this case? According to Ohm's law, here current increases, then what happens to our resistance?
Resistance decreases.
Very good. Resistance decreases. According to Ohm's law, we know that current and resistance are inversely proportional to each other. So if current increases, then resistance decreases in this case. Resistance decreases. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I hope it is clear. So the area of cross section increases, the value of the current increases. If the value of current increases, then by the Ohm's law we can write the resistance is decreases. Okay. So here we get the two factors that depends on the resistance, value of resistance. So what are the two factors that is affecting the value of resistance?
Length and area.
Very good. That is length and area. Okay. So here from this activity we get the two factors that is affecting the value of resistance. One is length and other is the area. Okay.
Yes,
So we
ma'am.
can conclude it. The first one is length. The factors affecting the value of resistance. Factors affecting the value of resistance. Factors affecting the value of resistance. What is the first factor that is affecting the value of resistance?
Length.
Length. Very good. The first factor that is affect the value of resistance is length. And how this length is affect the value of resistance? What happens if the length increases? What happens if the value of length increases?
Current decreases and resistance increases.
Not about current. We are looking about resistance.
Resistance increases.
Okay. If the length increases, the value of the resistance is also increases. So my question is this. What about their relation? Is it is directly proportional or indirectly proportional?
Indirectly.
Here, whenever the length increases, resistance is also increases. So their relation is, they are directly proportional to each other, right? So here the length is directly proportional to resistance. Okay. Here the length is directly proportional to resistance. Now what is the second factor that is affecting the value of resistance? If you know the answer, unmute and say, I am very happy then.
Area of cross section.
Very good. Area. Area of cross section. And what is the relation between area of cross section and resistance? Whenever the area of cross section increases, what happens to the value of resistance? Decreases, right? Very good. Whenever the area of cross section increases, the resistance decreases. So what is the relation between the area of cross section and resistance? They are directly proportional or indirectly proportional?
Directly proportional.
Whenever, look here, listen. Whenever the area of cross section increases, the value of the resistance decreases.
Indirectly.
They are indirectly proportional. So the area of cross section is inversely, not indirectly, inversely proportional. Okay. So we can write 1 by area. 1 by area proportional to resistance. If it is directly proportional, the area comes in the numerator. Since they are inversely proportional, this area is right in the denominator. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here we get the two factors that is affecting the value of resistance. One is length and the second one is area of cross section. The length and resistance both are directly proportional to each other. That is, whenever the length of the wire increases, the resistance is also increases. Secondly, whenever the area increases, resistance decreases and vice versa. That is, if the area increases, resistance decreases, or if the area decreases, resistance increases. Okay. So from this two, we get an equation. R is directly proportional to L. This is our first equation. And R is inversely proportional to A. This is our second equation. Okay. The resistance is directly proportional to length. Resistance is inversely proportional to area. So these are our two equations. Now when we are comparing these two equations, we get R is proportional to L by A. Is it clear? According to our first equation, we have
Yes, ma'am.
R is proportional to L, R is inversely proportional to area. Now we are comparing these two equations 1 and 2, then we get R is proportional to L by A. Savio, what happened? Why are you laughing?
No, ma'am.
Anything wrong?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So here we are comparing these two equations 1 and 2. So we get R is proportional to L by A. Now in physics we always have a tendency to replace this proportionality sign. So here we are going to replace this proportionality sign. So here R is proportional to L by A. Here we are going to replace this proportionality sign by introducing a constant. That constant is known as rho, and it is represented like this. Okay.
Ma'am.
S
Yes, ma'am.
R is equal to rho into L by A. R is equal to rho into L by A. Okay. This is pronounced as rho. R-H-O, rho. And this constant of proportionality rho is known as resistivity of the material. This constant
Yes, ma'am.
rho is known as resistivity of the material. So from this activity we get an equation. The resistance depends upon the two factors, that is length and area of cross section. And how the length and the resistance depends, they are directly proportional. Whenever the length increases,
Yes, ma'am.
the value of the resistance is also increases. Similarly, whenever the area and resistance are indirectly proportional, that is, if the area increases, resistance decreases. So by comparing these two equations, we get R is proportional to L by A, or R is equal to rho into L by A. In order to replace this proportionality sign, here we are introducing a constant. That constant is known as resistivity of the material. It is not resistance, it is the resistivity of the material. It is represented by the letter rho.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we can define what you mean by resistivity. That is what we are going to discuss next. Resistivity. All of you write the next subheading. Resistivity. Nirubama, what is the letter to represent this resistivity? rho is used to represent the resistivity of the material. And the resistivity of the material is the resistance per unit length. It is defined as the resistance per unit length of the material. Resistance per unit length of the material. Resistance per unit length of the material is known as resistivity, or in mathematical expression we can write the resistivity rho is equal to resistance. Resistance is represented by the letter R by length, resistance per unit length of the material. Rho is equal to R by L. And the SI unit of resistivity is SI unit of resistivity is SI unit is ohm meter. Okay, SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter.
Yes, ma'am.
You just cut that mathematical expression for resistivity. We can derive the equation here.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
know that what is the equation for resistance? R is equal to, what are the factors depending upon the resistance? R is equal to, yes, R is equal to rho into L by A, right? Rho into L by A. This is the mathematical equation for calculating the resistance if you know the length and the area of the conductor. So from this equation, can you form an equation for resistivity? R is equal to rho into L by A. Then what is rho?
RA by
Rho is equal to RA divided by, it's right there, RA divided by L.
L.
L. RA divided by L. This is the equation. This is the mathematical equation for calculating the resistivity. Okay, it is not R by L, RA divided by L. RA divided by L. This is the mathematical expression for calculating the resistivity. Now we can find out the unit from this equation. What is the unit of resistance? Arjun? Oh, yes. Unit of resistance?
Ohm.
Ohm. What about the unit of area?
Meter square.
Meter square. Divided by unit of length? Meter. So here we can cut 1 meter from here and from the numerator. So what is left? Ohm meter.
Meter.
So the unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now we can find the two more factors that is depends upon the value of resistance. So in the fourth case here we are connecting a copper wire with a 5 centimeter length. So during that case, what about the value of the current that we got? Value of current. Is it is exactly the same with that of the nichrome wire? What about the value of the current that we get when we connect a copper wire in the gap between X and Y in the electric circuit? It is 3 ampere, right? It is 3 ampere.
Yes, ma'am.
And here we can see from this table it is clear that this value is entirely different from that of the value of the current from the above cases. So
Yes, ma'am.
from this we can conclude that the another factor that is depends upon the resistance is nature of the material.
Yes,
along
ma'am.
with the length and area. The next factor that is depends upon the value of resistance is nature of the material. So the first factor is length, second factor area, the third factor is nature of the material. Nature of material. We cannot say exactly whether it is increase or decrease, it is depends upon the nature of the material. Here the resistance of the copper wire is less than that of the nichrome wire. That is why here we get a large value of the current. Okay, here nichrome is possess large value of resistance, that is why it has a small value of current, but the copper possesses a large value of resistance, that is why the value of the current is increases. So the value of resistance is depends upon the nature of the material. For a particular material it remains a constant.
Yes, ma'am.
If we are using any other type of material like iron or any other aluminium or steel, it possesses another resistance. So the resistance of the material is varies from material to material. And one more factor is there, that is temperature. Temperature. So there are four factors are there that is affecting the value of resistance. One is length, second one area of cross section, third one nature of the material, and the last one temperature. Whenever the temperature increases, the resistance is also increases. That is, temperature is directly proportional to resistance. The last factor that is affecting the value of resistance is temperature. Whenever the temperature increases, the value of the resistance is also increases. Okay. Now I will show a table. The same table present in your textbook, page number 207. Okay. So this is the resistivity, the value of resistivity of some materials are provided here for conductors, alloys and insulators. And the value of the resistivity for 20 degrees Celsius. These are the values of these materials for 20 degrees Celsius. And from this table, can you say what about the resistivity of insulators? What is the range of resistivity of insulators?
10 raised to 10 to 10 raised to 70.
Ah yes, 10 raised to 12. We can consider this range, 10 raised to 12 to 10 raised to 14. Okay, so the value of resistivity for insulators are ranging from 10 raised to 12 to 10 raised to 14. Now, what about the value of resistivity for alloys? For alloys,
10 raised to negative
10 raised to negative 6. 10 raised to negative 6 ohm meter. The value of the unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Okay, you must study this range. The range of resistivity for insulators is 10 raised to 12 to 10 raised to 14 ohm meter. The value of resistivity, the range of resistivity for alloys is 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter. Then what about the range of resistivity for metals?
10 raised to minus 8.
10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. So students, can you say out of all these materials, which one possesses high resistivity? Which material possesses high resistivity, Johan?
Conductors.
Here we have conductors, alloys and insulators. Out of these, which one or which material possesses high resistivity?
Alloys.
High resistivity.
Insulators.
Insulators. Insulate. No. Conductors is only 10 raised to minus 8. 0.00000 something value. But here the range of insulators are 10 raised to 12 to 10 raised to 14. Okay. So here from this table we can say the large resistivity is possessed by the insulators. The materials like glass, hard rubber, ebonite rod, diamond and paper. That is, they are not allowed the electricity to pass through them. They offer a higher resistance. They are not allowed the electricity to pass through them. That is why we are called them as insulators. And which materials are possess less resistivity? Which materials are possess less resistivity? Yes, they are conductors. Conductors are not only conductors, our alloys are also come under the category. They possess a low value of the resistance, so they allow the electricity to pass through them. So they are called conductors. The conductors and the alloys are allow the electricity to pass through them. Okay. So here we are discussing the factors affecting the value of resistance. There are 4 factors are there mainly affect the value of resistance. What are they? Length of the conductor, area of cross section of the conductor, nature of the material of the conductor, and finally the temperature. Okay, so now I will call your names. You can say how these factors are affect. Rizwan, how the length of the conductor is depends or affect on the value of resistance.
Yes, ma'am.
How the length affect the value of resistance? What is the relation between them? I only hear the yes, ma'am. Then now, what about the Rizwan? Are you there? Same question to Badra. What is the relation between length of the conductor and that of the value of resistance? Very good. Whenever the length increases, the resistance also increases, or we can say that length of the conductor is directly proportional to resistance. Very good. The next question to Nisia. What is the relation between area of cross section of conductor and that of the resistance? What is the relation between area of cross section and the resistance?
Yes, ma'am. Area of cross section is inversely proportional to the resistance.
Very good. Area of cross section is inversely proportional to resistance, or we can write 1 by A is proportional to resistance. Now the next question to who is here? Vishnu. Vishnu VV. What about the nature of the material of the conductor? How it is affect the value of resistance? How the nature of the material affect the value of resistance? I can't hear anything here. Haya, the same question. How the nature of the material affect the value of resistance? We cannot say whether it is either increase or decrease. We can say depending upon the material, the value of the resistance is increase or decrease. Okay, so depending upon the material, the value of the resistance is increase or decrease. So the nature of the material is one factor affecting the value of resistance. So whenever the material is different, we get a different value for the resistance. And the last one is temperature. John, how the temperature is related to that of our resistance value? John Samuel. Same question to Lolita. How the temperature of the conductor related to the resistance, value of resistance? Resistance? What about their relation? Is it directly proportional or indirectly proportional? That is what I want to know. They are directly proportional. The temperature of the conductor is directly proportional to the resistance. They are directly proportional to each other. That is, whenever the temperature increases, the resistance of the conductor is also increases. Okay. So that's all about the factors affecting the value of resistance. And here one more thing that you must remember about the equation, resistivity. So depending upon these factors affecting the value of resistance, here we are deriving an equation. R is directly proportional to length, R is inversely proportional to area of cross section. Then we compare these two equations, so we get R is proportional to L by A. In order to replace this proportionality sign, here we are introducing a constant. That constant is known as dash. What is that constant? Rho. Rho is known as resistivity. It is known as the resistivity of the material. Okay, and the unit of rho or the resistivity is known as ohm meter. And the equation for calculating this rho is equal to R into A divided by L. Okay, so that's all.